Hello everybody, my name is Tom Kick. I am a Kingpin main, OTP, something, played a little bit too much. I have over 2,000 games on Kingpin, so I'm here to help you guys learn everything there is to learn about Kingpin. So hope you guys enjoy. Alright, to start us off, we have the abilities of Kingpin. Kingpin LMB is a shotgun. The really important thing here is to see that when you spam it, the pellets will spread out. If you hold and you wait between your shots, they'll all be together. This is important for when you're trading against enemies, because if you are spreading out, you will deal a lot less damage and you need to get closer to the enemy. So patience with your shots, that is very important. Next one is your hook, very basic. You'll drag an enemy to you. You can also hook allies, which is really good. Secondly, you have the dashes, you have a ground dash, and you have an air dash. The ground dash you can also use while in air, but the important thing is the air dash you can only use while you're jumping, while you're up in the air. So you can air dash and short dash basically after each other. Then you have the next ability, the dunk, the main bread and butter. This is a stun ability that will also send people falling downwards into the abyss if you hit them over. And lastly, the ultimate, which is a big shotgun that shoots 2 shots and also anti-heal the enemies. For the leveling order, you will want to start with, of course, getting all of your main abilities. You will instantly want to go to shift level 4. The reason so is because this is important for mobility, as Kingpin is very slow and has high cooldowns and want to play around being mobile in the start. Then we go over to having dunk, making sure that you get your cooldown or down and stun duration up. The reason why you want to be skipping ult is because the stun duration is important to be able to actually hit the ult. Now let's get over to some combos. Some of the main combos on Kingpin is of course hooking them and dunking them. If you want to get a little bit more advanced, you'll be adding these two. Give yourself distance. Maybe you have allies behind you and want to pull them to you. You can combine this with your dash, pull them all the way back, and of course land with the ult. Now what is important is also the passive of Kingpin. When you kill an enemy, you will get more max HP, but also secondly, you deal more damage to the enemy while shooting them at the back. Shooting them at the front will deal good damage, but shooting them in the back will deal even more damage. This is why you'll often see when you hook somebody doing a full combo in, you will have to do the turnaround, trying to get the full combo while you're going. Hit them completely in the back. One of the really cool combos you can do with Kingpin using the Abyss is that you can hook yourself out. What you normally see when you hook is that you just fall down into the abyss and you die. But what you can do with your shift abilities is that you can cancel your own momentum to stay over abyss while hooking somebody to take them. If you use your shift to cancel your own momentum, that means you can hook them, go into the target to stay over abyss and be able to use it. You do need to use both of your dashes to do it, but then again, if you manage to kill him, you get a dash reset. The other part is that you can do it while over abyss. It's a little bit harder, but if you cancel momentum, even though you're lower than the enemy and you hold it, you can still get the dunk over abyss. These are very, very good for abyss combat. Practice them a lot. One of the most important powers for Kingpin is 1, the battle gum, and 2, grab the squid. This is the easiest to obtain, but also one of the most valuable ones you can get. Starting with grab the squid, which is kind of the bread and butter. If you hit a wall, you will basically pull yourself to it. Same with enemies, and this can also be done with allies to send yourself further. This is then combined together with a dunk, often as a poke tool or an engage tool. If you want to be poking as Kingpin, you'll be going in, dunking, and then using your shots back with the shift 4 as we talked about earlier, and deal poke damage. This makes it so you can keep your distance while being able to chunk down the enemy. You can also extend the range of the hook, where you use it on something to pull yourself further back, and then keep your combo. This is a lot of buttons to press, but it will help a lot. Grabby is also really good in Abyss combat. When an enemy comes flying towards you, you can combine it with a dunk to hit them over Abyss. This is great mobility power. You can also use this with mobility. If you don't want to fight the enemy, you can go on the side and send yourself past them. This is a great tool to keep momentum, as physics is actually a core part of this game. Next one is Battle Gun. What is important about this is that it needs to be used 2 times to activate. If you hit it on walls, you can make a little bit of a bouncer that is easy to jump over, can be fatal, but good for a robber in general. But the main thing that I at least use it for is to catch enemies in multiple ways. One thing, you can do it as a secondary hook. If you hit it on an enemy, attach it to something, it'll pull it in, and then you can combine your abilities with this. One being dunk, another one, for example, being the hook, extending it even further back. Secondly, what you can also do is you can do this to combo and put the enemy over Abyss, getting him in and setting it up neatly. If you're afraid that the enemy might be able to follow up really quickly, you can also pull it even further back, connecting it, hooking, and going all the way back to get another combo. The big powers or relics actually for Kingpin are Rewind and Blinkstone. These are not obtainable through armory, but you can get through the bosses or chests or different loot ways in-game. These will also drop if you die, so make sure that you play well around them. First on, we'll do Blinkstone. Blinkstone is just blink, you appear. But the problem is that if you get hit by an enemy, it will go on cooldown. So you make sure that you stay away from people. This is a great tool to engage from afar because you can combine it with the dunk, where you can start your dunk and blink onto the enemy without them almost being able to react at all. This can then also be combined, as we did with the Grabby, to give yourself more distance away to combine and help it to bring to your teammates. Blink is also then a great power over Abyss. When the enemies are flying, they'll be stationary and you can dunk them without them being able to react at all. Secondly, we have Be Kind Rewind. This teleports you back to the location where you were 5 seconds ago and can heal you up to 60% of your health you had in that area. This is a great combat relic, but also a great kidnapping tool, as you can get onto the enemy and activate the rewind while you are in the hook animation and bring them to your teammates. Also, if you're afraid of crossing an area and you need to be able to check or potentially kidnap somebody, you can freely go over, find an enemy and bring them over to dunk. Then we're over to Kingpin build. You have a lot of good variations for Kingpin. My core build and what I like to do is I like to go Power Gauntlet, which gives bonus primary attack damage. And I like to go Burning Palm. Your abilities apply burn damage to targets. This means that your hook, your dunk, and your ult will apply burning damage. This is my core build. Now I want to go through some of the other stuff that are still relevant and good, depending on what kind of way you want to play Kingpin, and some notes on what not to take. For example, the first one, I recommend not taking Rag Steel. It might look good where you get 13% primary attack damage, but less primary attack speed. The reason why I don't recommend this one is because of the shift max that I recommend people, is that it will make your shift tech poke slower. You benefit from having attack speed. That means that if you switch this out and you go trigger fingers instead, you can do this quicker and get more shots while dashing away. So if you like to play more with your mobility and playing with your LMBs, then trigger fingers is good. You also have the long claw options where you can combine it with trigger fingers and have more range on your shots to be able to play peeling. Now, all depending on how you like to play. The reason why I like Power Gauntlet and Burning Palm is specifically because I like to try to do as much damage as possible. Now, some of you guys might say, but what about the cooldown reduction? We have the Chrono Gauge. Chrono Gauge is also good, But what you also need to consider is you'll deal a lot less damage. Kingpin is a very tank heavy hunter, so if you don't have damage, then you're very reliant on your teammates. But if you want to be a setup Kingpin and help your teammates, then Chrono Gauge can also be really good for you. When looking at the boots, there's only really one option, and that is the rocket high tops. For the rocket high tops, this makes your dash quicker. Without the boots, this is your speed. With your boots, this is your speed. This means that it's quicker to engage on enemies with the rocket high tops because your dash is faster, which is really great. I recommend always buying rocket high tops. Lastly, for some recommended perks, some perks that I think are really good on Kingpin. Number 1, lockdown. Your crowd control is 10% longer and boop 10% farther. The second part isn't as important, but the crowd control is really good for Kingpin. Secondly, I recommend second skin. Get a 100 HP shield when your armor breaks. This is very good to be able to be a little bit more tanky and engage in good manners. Now the rest of the perks, I recommend being creative, because perks is really good to be able to adapt to situations in the game depending on where on the map you are or what is happening and what team comps you're playing against. Kingpin has a lot of interesting combination matchups with allies and against enemies. We'll go through some relic combinations, but also some matchup stuff that can be good to know. First combo, we have Wukong and Kingpin, but specifically also with Grabby. If you need to scout an area, you can let your Wukong hold RMB, and then you can use your Grabby onto the Wukong to fly up in the air and scout the area. This is also a great way to dunk engage on the enemy. When playing with a myth, you have a very neat interaction where you can play through walls. If a myth dashes into a wall, you can pick up the ghost and you can hook people through the wall. This will then drag you back to the corner and pull the enemy to you. This can be done on massive walls and be a very neat trick to pull allies or enemies to you. You also have a fun interaction with Celeste. If you have enemies on the right side, you can pull the Celeste into the enemy team to combo and surprise. This can also then be combined with, for example, Blinkstone. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. That is all for Kingpin. If you have any questions or anything you are wondering about, then feel free to comment it down below. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll be bringing out a ton of more guides for Supervive. Hope you guys enjoyed. To send us off, here are a couple of clips of some Kingpin gameplay. Hope you guys enjoy, and good luck with Kingpin on the breach. Dunked one.
Oh, big.
I gotta look for hook. Go on. I don't have dunk.
One. He's last. Nice.
Holy. I'm probably cooked there.
Could you maybe give me money quick before you
We
die?
got one.
Right.
But I'm dead for it.
Give me money quick.
Oh,
Give me money.
got you. Oh my.
Wait, you're alive. Wait, you're the gold?
We look at this.
No, yep.
Look here. Boom.
Oh, that's one.
Nice. Take it slow. Look at this. Drive by. Oh, it worked!
Okay.